ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile.
Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
Yeah, I gave me put in my pocket, it don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, 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 money.
Hold out here for a pill. Really tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
What up? What up? It's Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you, and we got another episode of Elevated Sports Talk. What is going down, everybody? I'm sharing the links over here just in some of the fantasy leagues, just so people know we're getting down to biz. And we're probably going to be going live a little bit earlier now because we're in mid-season form right now. That is what it's all about. And we know there's some other people out there trying to compete with our time slot. So we're just going to make sure that we're outworking everybody over here. Shout out to the crew and everyone who's in there right now. We got a meal in the house. What up? What up? We're coming live a little bit earlier than normal. And JPZ said, what up, bro? He said, what up, football fan, man? The GOAT, 14 days and we can all stop itching. Let's go. I guess, would it be 14 days as of today? I mean, we got 2 weeks as of tomorrow. 2 weeks as of tomorrow. All right. We got some news as well. Nothing too crazy. Huh, what the hell happened to Instagram? I don't know why Instagram is so flaky every now and again with the stream. But whatever, I guess no Instagram today. All right, but shout out to everyone watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Rumble. Salute to all you guys. Throw in a comment. If you're watching this on replay, hit that subscribe button. We got a lot of fantasy football to talk about here, fantasy football news. And how about, well, I guess there's some the center for the Arizona Cardinals got extended. We're not too worried about that. Tyler Boyd, after being hurt, he's back at practice. That's an improvement for him for sure. Okay, how about this one? This was the big news of the day, and I saw this rumor yesterday that Tyreek Hill had some kind of hand cast on. I forget exactly the way that they worded it. Some kind of brace on his hand, and now Mike McDaniel said that Tyreek Hill is not participating in team drills today with his right hand / thumb injury. Well, that sucks. That sucks for Tyreek Hill. Hopefully this is nothing. Hopefully this is something that just, doesn't carry more than a couple days. We got 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks before a lot of teams are playing. Emil said Tyreek's fine. He just likes attention. Man, I know people like attention. People don't want to be in it. People don't want to have attention for being injured or hurt. It's all bad juju, man. It's all bad juju. No one's faking an injury. Because you know what happens when you start faking injuries? You get real injuries. So I doubt that's happening. Let's smoke it up, guys.
All right. Fire them up.
Let's smoke it up. I got a couple videos to share as well. Let's see. I got a handful of these videos. How about George Kittle? This was just kind of funny. George Kittle was clowning on some reporters. Will, what up, Will? Said, hello, fantasy football D-Gens. A question for you, Alex. How would you handle a bully manager that consistently offers BS deals and hounding guys for trades? Well, I mean, you have to explain more. Explain the bully tactics that are going on. Explain the bully tactics that are going on. I'll tell you how I would. Because I mean, consistently offering BS deals and hounding guys for trades. I mean, I don't know. That wouldn't make me consider someone a bully. So give me a little bit more specifics on what this fuck's doing. I'll tell you how I'd handle it.
Up your sneaker game. It's absolutely atrocious. I got some Vomeros. Those are fire. And Grant wears Vans every single day. New Balances. They look like Vans. Yeah, those are Vans. It's okay. But you wear those every day, so I need you to switch those up. But I observe all your guys' shoes, and I am disappointed in you guys as a community. So if we could up those, please. It's year 8, guys. Let's figure this out together.
And George Kittle's not going to be doing any more interviews. If you got some whack-ass shoes on, step your game up. Step your game up, guys. Get your bars up.
Get your bars up.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. What are some other ones that I got here while we wait for some other peeps to show up? How about there's been a lot of bad fantasy drafts over there. This one, Fanatics, they had some kind of like expo or something like over the weekend. Hey, fantasy roll, what up, bro? And look at this. Maybe you guys know who this is, but this show is just funny to me. Somebody didn't know about fantasy football, but they put him on the fantasy football panel.
To go Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. What's so funny?
Terrible pick.
You know I gotta go with my boy, Pat Mahomes, baby. What y'all think about that? That was dumb again? Brother, I ain't never done this. I don't even know why they put me on this panel. I am still confused on why I'm up here speaking sports. Odell Beckham Jr.
5-6 years too late, Drew.
Why you laughing, Jerry? Hey, chill, man. Don't throw no shade, bro.
Jerry said Odell ain't even showed up training camp yet.
Boy, you would have had a hell of a team 6 years ago.
I don't know what I'm doing, brother.
All right.
Oh man. So yeah, see, when it's stuff like that, it's hilarious. You know, he's already said, I don't even know why the hell they got me up on this panel talking sports. I was gonna pick these guys that I knew from 5 years ago. What up, Coach C? What up, bro? He said Drewski's funny as heck. I was pretty funny, man. It had me rolling. Right? Yeah, I mean, it was a mock draft. I mean, he ain't worried about playing in no fantasy league. I'm gonna try to get some clips from that the ESPN draft that was going on though, because those are people who were getting paid for their takes and they're doing horrible. Said the guy was consistently trying to get the 101 off this guy who was adamant about not trading. Then he offered Chubb a 2025 first, 2025 fourth for the 101. Guy took it thinking it was a 25 first, was a 24. Well, I mean, there's nothing in the rules that say you can't like offer someone a trade. Like, the guy doesn't want to get trades from that person. Block him. You block them. They can't send you no trades. But yeah, I mean, I would, if the guy really thought it was a 2024 first and it was an honest mistake like that, you looked at it wrong, I'd change it back. I'd reverse it. I mean, it's, but that guy, I mean, that guy's not being a bully because he keeps sending trade offers. Like, I mean, that's not being a bully. Hey, Coach C said tomorrow we're dropping the pod. There we go. I was on Coach C's podcast. We recorded our episode last week and it's going to be dropping tomorrow. I'll share the link with all the crew and maybe we'll play like the first like five minutes or so, like on the channel tomorrow. Give everybody a little teaser so they can go watch the whole thing. Yeah, Neil said trading's part of the game. I mean, yeah, that's not being a bully. Like, give me another example of how he's being a bully. I said, regardless, the 2024 is the 106. The guy said he accepted it because the guy kept hounding him. Said it's a ridiculous deal, and I vetoed it. I mean, if you vetoed it because it was supposed to be a 2024 first and that was the confusion, outside of that, though, that's not a veto trade. That's not a vetoable trade. Because, like, if you, like, kick the guy out of your league, like, if he's that much of an issue, kick him out of your league. But, yeah, vetoing trades just because you don't like the guy because he's sending out too many trades, like, nah, that's not the way to do it, bro. That's not the way to do it. If he's that much of an issue to the league, just kick him out of the league. But if you're going to let him be in the league, I mean, that there's so many people who think that Nick Chubb is never going to play again. I mean, it ain't me, but there's so many people who believe that Nick Chubb is never going to like be Nick Chubb again. And like, this is going to be his last year because he's going to get hurt again. All types of shit like that. So Nick Chubb is kind of a throw-in piece in Dynasty right now because of how old he is.
Simmons is old.
But no, I don't agree with vetoing that trade unless it was because the guy made an honest mistake saying that he only accepted it because he thought it was a pick swap plus those other two things. Because a 2024 second, I mean, I'm not like that only holds like so much value, you know, only holds so much value. Said, yeah, he messaged me and said he did think it was a 24, but he sent me a DM saying he didn't even like the trade and explained his situation. I think he's quite young. Well, I mean, see, like, here's the thing. Because someone's hounding you, you can't just accept a trade. And then, like, the 2024 part, like, yeah, I could get behind that. But being like, oh, I just accepted the trade because you would not stop. Like, that's on the person who accepted it. I get shitty trades all the time. You know what I do? I leave them up or I hit decline. And that's it. If it's that bad, I leave it up. I leave it up and I forget about it. All right, let's see. Let me see if it'll let me. Oh, hold on. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay. Let me see if I can find this here. Wait, is this the trailer? And outside of that, a lot of random shit's gonna happen anyway. So like you can only prepare so much. I guess just having my finger on the pulse of like everything. Let me see here. Actually, now that I just, because it shows 35 minutes, so I don't think this whole thing's the trailer. But let me see. Let me see here. Oh, I see it. You know what? It didn't. I don't know why. It's like all super blurry and stuff. Why don't I just play the first minute? I'll play the first minute of this because it's on the actual like video or whatever. But this will it's fine. We'll stop it right when it gets to right when everything's about to kick in. And outside of that, a lot of random shit's gonna happen anyways. So it's like you can only prepare so much. I guess just having my finger on the pulse of like everything and like every player. Because I'm in so many leagues, I have everybody and I go against everybody every week.
How many leagues are you in this year?
It's probably gonna be somewhere between 40 and 60.
When did you start like building the brand?
What's crazy is like it didn't start with it started with content on Facebook, with the Facebook.
How many members is this up to?
Well, I know there's over 100,000.
How much preparation goes into a certain draft? How long in advance do you prepare for it?
I've been doing mock drafts and real drafts since like February. If you want to just get to like the highest level of like just ultimate following.
What do you think are like some of the top common mistakes like beginners or like regular people make for fantasy football?
Biggest one is trading with emotions.
Going into this NFL season, is there like a one or two like sleeper picks or candidates that you think are gonna have a breakout year?
So I really like
Best for business.
Yeah, there we go. So the whole video is going to be dropping tomorrow. Whole video is going to be dropping tomorrow. You guys are going to want to check this out. It was a good one for sure. What up, Matt? He said, awesome. I was introduced to you through Coach C. Hell yeah, Coach C. You the man. Thanks for telling people about us, bro. It's crazy because Coach C, he's been around since 2020, like for sure, since I started all this, COVID and, like all the video stuff. And he was like, man, I was a sophomore in high school when I originally found you. He's like, now I'm a sophomore in college. Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Jamie in the house. What up, bro? Coach Jerry B in the house. What up? Let's get it going. All right, let's see. Ryan, what up? He said, would you send a 26 second rounder for Jerome Ford? I mean, that's pretty far out. Why at 26? I mean, that's so far out. It's like 2 years. I mean, I guess, but I don't know. It's so far out. Jay, what up, bro? He said, this year I've taken vetoes completely out of the picture. If you trade and lose, it's your fault. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there should still be a commissioner. There should still be a commissioner, like ruling on it. Even if it's like 99% of trades get pushed through like automatically by me, like just right away, there's still going to be those 1% of trades that you have to look at. And, not saying everything's going to be collusion with those 1% of trades, but sometimes you just have to see how the other manager is feeling about it, because you don't want people to, I don't know. You don't want collusion happening, and you just got to be on the ball. That's really it. And he said, no, I didn't veto because I don't like the guy or the trades. It was vetoed because the misunderstanding. Yeah, okay, yeah. See, I'm with that. Like I said earlier, I'm not against that part. He said, now the guy who's getting Nick Chubb doesn't like the deal. That's up to him to accept. Okay, well, yeah, for sure. Well, we're on the same page. We're on the same page with that. He said, I agree. Hounding doesn't excuse accepting. I would have just blocked him. Said he was also adamant he was never going to trade the 101, but whatever. He said, I woke up with that shit this morning. Because, see, like, people could say that all they want. Like, oh, I'm never going to move this thing. But if you keep getting trades and you like the value in it, like, never is not a thing for trades. Like, if someone says I'm never trading the 101, like, does that mean that I won't make a trade? Like, go try to send him a trade for the 101? I'd say 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't. But it really just depends on the person. If the person's kind of like a flaky person and we know that they make kind of trades like that, like, yeah, I would be spending it. I would be sending it for sure. Not to mention I spent well over 3 hours, closer to 4, entertaining all the keepers in that league last night and then having to deal with this BS trade this morning. Hey, man, being a commissioner is a thankless job. It really is, bro. It really, really is. Coach C said, I tell you all the time, I owe you a lot. Looking forward to dropping this and seeing what you're gonna do and go on to do. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, Jamie said don't buy Ford. I mean, that just wasn't. I mean, yeah. I mean, last year was the year to buy him. And what up, Henyas on Twitch? Thanks for following. Said if someone is bad, can't they ruin a league? Hell yeah, man. They're like there is like bad apples that can ruin an entire league, and that's why a lot of dynasty leagues don't last even a full 2 years. So I would just remember, like, if there's a real, like, have bylaws in place to where if somebody is doing something that you know is going to ruin the league, put it down in writing to where if people still get warnings and stuff, but even in mine, like, shit gets taken to the next level. If shit starts getting like real personal, any kind of racism, like any of that, like, man, I mean, one strike rule applies, on things like racism and shit like that. But if it's just like personal attacks, you get a warning. And then outside of that, I mean, if someone's just going to keep being an asshole and doing it, like after you've asked like once or twice or whatever, you just got to get rid of people like that. I mean, it all depends on what's going on, for sure. every situation is a different case, especially when dealing with a whole bunch of people, because commissioners, I mean, you're managing money, you're managing a league, but you're really managing people like at the end of the day. For sure. And so it's not easy. It's not easy. Not easy being a manager of people. And Jamie said Watson don't target the RB much at all. And that's where most of Ford's points came from last year. Joe Flacco, we know Joe Flacco loves checking down for sure. Thanks for that insight, Jamie, because I bet that's something real easy to forget about. He said Ford is bottom 15 for positive yards gain going back 2011. Oh, man. Yeah. So Magic Man Ricky, what up, bro? He said, good morning. Bless all the commissioners in the fantasy world. I commish. How many? It said E. What's the E? Let's see. E's right next to 3 and 4 on the keyboard. So I'm assuming somewhere around there. But yeah, how many leagues do you commission? Will said, ask the guy what he wanted for the 101. He said Richardson, Rashad White, and the 102. So what he got for the 101 was crazy. Another guy commented he offered Josh Allen for the 101. You guys weren't persistent enough. You guys weren't persistent enough. You guys were acting like he was just supposed to give you the 101, because that could be what he wants. But see, even saying that, like, he's entertaining the idea. He's just like telling you he wants a shitload like for it. I would have just been sending him stuff. I mean, because he clearly wants to trade the pick. If he didn't want to trade the pick, he wouldn't even say players that he wanted. He wouldn't even say players that he wanted. Jay said, I'm the commissioner, and last year we had so much drama. I'm like, okay, having no vetoes, power given to anyone, but I still have the power as commissioner. Will entertain votes in chat room. There you go. There you go. And yeah, being a commissioner is a thankless job. Bees Barbarians, he's the commissioner of their auction draft that was going on. He was so pissed. People were showing up late. People, like, you know, all the different emails and stuff that he wrote out, people weren't reading, and he was pissed. He was pissed. He was like, if we don't start this shit in 10 minutes, I'm about to call the whole fucking thing off. I was just laughing, trying not to let him see me, because, like, I know the frustration, man. I know the frustration. And, like, especially when, you know, like, he pays me personally, you know, to like come out there and like host the draft and, you know, be the auctioneer and like all that, you know, so he's coming out of pocket for the experience of the league as well. I mean, shit, they host it at their pizza restaurant. He has food for everybody, you know, so I mean, he does things that like most commissioners are not fucking doing, like, at all. So he really goes above and beyond to make sure it's a dope experience for his league. And man, he was so frustrated. He was so frustrated. But I know this year was probably, I'm going to ask him too, if this year, outside, like after the draft started, if it was like the easiest process for him, because normally he's the guy, every time a pick comes in, he's inputting it on the computer. And I was like, bro, I was like, why don't you give me the computer? I'll put in the picks, and then you just get to hang out and like just make it up to me and what you're paying me for the hosting fees, you know? And he was like, you think you can handle all that? And I was like, come on, man, it's easy. It's easy. There was only a couple times where I was like, how much did that guy go for again? I'm literally the auctioneer saying it all. And it's like, someone says like two things, and then it's like, man, the number just escaped. And there we go. Will said, anyways, that's my rant of the day. You know what? Sometimes we got to get those rants off of our chest and just be completely done with them. And yeah, it was, I mean, there's always stuff going on for sure. Always stuff going on. And all these leagues that I got, I'm glad there hasn't been like too much drama, you know, this year from the brand new dynasties. There was a little drama this morning where someone was like, tag the next fucking man up, okay? This will go way faster. Everyone complaining about how slow the draft's going. And I'm like scrolling up, and I'm like, nobody complained about how slow the draft was going. And I was like, outside of like the morning chatter that I see here, is all I see is someone on the clock, someone on the clock, someone on the clock, someone on the clock. Like, so I put that in there. And then the guy started talking a little bit of shit Then the one who got called out started talking shit, and then he kind of somewhat apologized and was like, I'll do my best to tag the next man up. And I just saw my spot to get in there, and I was like, all right, and let's just leave it at that. We all want to draft. We're all antsy. We know how it goes. Let's leave it at that. And and Hand said, what do you think of the best draft strategies this year? First round wide receiver, second round RB, third round wide receiver. Well, I mean, I like to pick best player available. Like that's where I'm at, is best player available. Unless you play in some super, super deep league, you can really get by with going best player available and just not overthinking it. Like if I get a shot in the first round to get CMC, Brees, or Bijan, that's your value in the first round right there. Like you take that value because there's only 3 top tier running backs like that. Like you're going to be able to get other guys, but it's like, that's where the value is. Like the first round, like wide receivers. I mean, shit, Tyreek, Amon-Ra, Chase, JJ, all those guys are very, very similar. It's not just like there's 3 wide receivers at the top and that's it. It's like the top 5-6 guys I feel like, very, very similar in value. But once you get past those first 3 RBs and you start getting into Gibbs, Saquon, Jonathan Taylor, I mean, that's just like a different level. And so yeah, I'm trying to take one of those RBs in the first round if I can. If I can't get them, shit, I may go 2 or 3 wide receivers in a row and just go crazy on that. But I really like to build evenly. That's building evenly is the strategy that has won me the most championships. Where like in the first rounds, you're taking like a top end wide receiver, a top end running back, and then just using that as your foundation, because everything that we're doing here, we're building the foundation for the season. And if your foundation starts off with 3 or 4 wide receivers, that means your running back foundation is not that strong. You may put a lot of pieces in there, but the foundation isn't too top heavy. If you start with a running back and a wide receiver just in your first 2 rounds and you get a top end at each one, I mean, you're going to be feeling so good about everything else. Because if those guys don't get hurt, I mean, that's a great foundation to build around. Magic Man said, I was told someone has to be the 90s Cleveland Browns as a commish. I'm like, that's not good enough for me. So I have commish vetoes to protect some teams from giving up too much of the booty. Yeah. 3 leagues. There we go. 3. See the E is right next to the 3. There we go. Well, so I think everybody needs to be a commissioner at least once just to see the bullshit you have to go through in order to make the league run smoothly. I don't agree with that because I don't want someone to like fuck up the experience for other people. I actually think less people should be commissioners because there's so many people who are commissioners who just run dog shit leagues and they're ruining the experience for other people. And that's the thing that I hate the most about real shitty commissioners. It's about ruining experiences for other people because fantasy football is supposed to be fun. And if it's not fun, that means you did a horrible job. Not everybody wins. Only one person wins. But everybody should at least be having fun with the draft, certain parts of the season, at least until their team sucks, because everybody's pissed once their team sucks. It's like all these dumbass commissioners who are like trying to run IDP leagues. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then they ruin the experience for like people playing in IDP leagues. That's one thing that I hate. Stick to what you know. And if you're not doing research on stuff, don't even try. Like if you're a commissioner who's not doing research on how to create the best type of league possible, don't do it. And so that's the thing, though. You find out who the good commissioners are, and then you stick with them. I'm just saying there's much more that goes into it than setting the league. Oh, for sure. I mean, and yeah, you're preaching to the choir, on that part of it, because I think that's why so many people love being in the leagues that I commission, because, yeah, it's not just about setting up the settings, and setting up the leagues, and that's it. It's about, like, everything that goes into it. And so, yeah, I mean, all these leagues that I'm commissioning and everything, like shit, I'm getting paid, for it. There are commissioner, fees that are included in all of that. And there's some people that hate on that, and then there's so many people who are like, I want to support and I want to do that, and I know this league's gonna last forever, and I'm about it. Ortiz family, what up? Should I trade Travis Etienne and Pitts for Cup? No. Nah. I don't want to do that. I like getting Cup, but I don't know. Travis Etienne and Pitts just seems like too much. I think next year I'm going to incorporate your idea of not having a tight end spot, but making it tight end premium and adding a flex. That's a great idea. Yeah, I want more people to adopt that, because think of how much the tight end spot determines who is good in the league. Like, just if you have a real dog shit tight end in there, and if you play in a 12-man league, I mean, shit, there's only so many tight ends to go around before you start getting to the dog shit ones, And so that's what I've realized that years ago, that whoever has the top end tight end just has a significant advantage in the league and winning a championship if that tight end doesn't get hurt, obviously. And I don't like someone having that great of an advantage because of like 3 players in the league. I never liked that idea. And like, this is back when I think it was like Kelsey Goddard, Mark Andrews. Like, this is like 2018, 2019, kind of when I'm like thinking about this. And I think it was, it was 2021 officially when I made the stance everywhere, because I still had leagues in 2020 that I created that had tight ends, like dynasty leagues and all that. 2021, when everything started like as like a business, that's when I made the move. I was like, you know what? This is going to be the first big stance that I take on something as far as like rosters go. The other big stance that I really take is the QBs, 15 yards per 1 point passing for 1 point. 15 yards passing for 1 point. That's the other really, really big stance that I take. And the 6-point passing touchdowns. Like, those are the three big stances that I've really taken in all of the leagues that I do. And because the QB should be more valuable, and it's because the tight ends should not be as valuable. Because you increase the points that they make, but that doesn't necessarily make them more valuable if there's not a tight end spot. And even then, if it's a tight end spot, you're only competing with all the tight ends, so it doesn't even matter about making it tight end premium. And Theo said, what's the next big stance? Well, I mean, I'm making a huge stance on IDP. So, I mean, I've always been doing that, though. So I guess, like, if I was saying, what's the next big stance that I took, it's IDP for sure. For sure. And Jay said, I've had my league 7 years in ESPN. I've been doing research for 2 years now, and I've switched to Sleeper and now IDP. There you go, man. There you go. And 2 years of research before you made that move. I like it. He said, but most everyone has no experience with IDP, but everyone's had plenty of time to investigate and become familiar, and they're all excited about the change. There we go. And if this is something that you've been talking about for a while, like, yeah, I mean, you kind of eased them into it already. And, man, good job for getting off of ESPN. Because Sleeper, definitely the way to go. What? Regal's eating food? Oh, man. And how many IDPs did you start off with, Jay, for this very first for the very first year? And then did you just keep it as the Sleeper default with IDP 1, 2, 3, as you should? I mean, I'm one of the guys who was kind of really pushing for that format. the guy who invented the format, Jordan Reigns. I know I definitely had a little bit of a push like on it as well, because the scoring format that I had, it was so similar to IDP 123. I created my scoring format in 2008. He created IDP 123, and it just sounded catchy in, I don't know, maybe 2018, 19. 3. Okay. I mean, that's not too bad. Hopefully there's a chance, there's room for growth to bump it up over time, because I really feel like four IDP spots should be the minimum. 1 DL, 1 LB, 1 DB, and then 1 flex. So then everybody still does have to, pick at least one guy to start. I mean, the ultimate way that I love doing it for redraft is 2-2-2-2. 2 DLs, 2 DBs, 2 linebackers, and then 2 flexes. But I understand, it's the first year, you got to work people up to it. But I'd really recommend doing 4 and then just explain why, because everybody will be, unless you're in like a 20-man league, everybody will easily be able to get one person per position. And then it will make it a little bit where you have to have some kind of a strategy. Like if you're just starting 3 IDP flexes, there's not too much strategy that's going to be involved, because there's so many good players that everybody is going to have 3 good players no matter what. And it's going to be simple to like fill those 3. If it's 4 and you got to fill one position, for each spot, makes people think a little bit differently. It makes, now it separates the players, so now just imagine if you had running backs, tight ends, and wide receivers, all just where they're all gonna do, the same couple. They're all in the flexes, and that's it. Like imagine how people's strategies would change if you weren't forced to start a running back specifically, forced to start 2 wide receivers specifically. So just some food for thought. And my first IDP league, we jumped all in, 8 IDPs, 2 at each position. Yep, there we go. Sink or swim. It's fun. Everybody's in the same boat, and it's still not hard to fill 8 spots, because you think about how many players. Think about 11 times 32. That's how many starters there are on IDP. Obviously, not all of them are created equal, but there's so many more better defensive players that you can start quantity-wise than offensive players. Because offense, we don't use the offensive line. That's 5 players right there. So you're only picking from 7 positions instead of 11, like on defense. And Marco said, what about 11 IDPs? I mean, the crazier, the better. In our dynasty leagues, we play with 9. It's 2-2-2 and then 3 IDP flexes. I really feel like that's the sweet spot, 8 and 9. I like 9 for dynasty, because you got to build, that much better. For same thing for the and same thing with the what's it called, with the redraft, have an 8. I like that, because even if there's injuries and stuff, you can still rotate people out. You don't need to have a super insane bench, with that as well. And Theo said the interior DL is kind of bad though in IDP. Well, that's why I don't like doing defensive tackle and defensive end as 2 different positions. I like just having the defensive line position where you can pick from any of them. Because there's defensive tackles and just interior defensive linemen in the NFL. Like those are the ultimate workhorses, and like those guys are so important to the NFL. But it's because like it just changes the entire way that you have to scheme against someone, with your run game, with your pass game, with everything. But for real life, a lot of those interior defensive linemen don't get a lot of tackles, sacks, but they're getting triple teamed. They're getting triple teamed on the line. So everybody else who's getting sacks and tackles is more than likely because of them, when it's all said and done. So yeah, but I'm with you. But same thing with DBs and combining the cornerbacks and safeties. Out of all those positions, cornerback 1, cornerback 2, free safety, strong safety, those are the starters on every single team, no matter what. Strong safety is the one, that we want out of that more often than not. Marco said, is it possible to use O-line players anyways? I know on some formats it is, like on some different apps. I don't know which ones, but yeah, I'm not with it. Jamie said, I'm in the middle of an IDP only. Start 12 draft. We start 3-3-3-3. Man, you're crazy, dude. I'd never do an IDP only league. Takes the fun out of it for me. Theo said, yeah, I've Watt and Hunter on my line, drafting Jalen Carter last year. Feel like he can be an interior DL. That's what gets him high enough sacks. Yeah. Don't stipulate DL, DT or DL. Just go with the generic position. Yeah. And don't stipulate the DT or DE. Guys like Cameron Hayward, Mad Buki are monsters on DL, but not really when they put those positions together. Is there a website that even uses punters? I'm sure there is. I chose players that play both defensive positions, LB and DB. Yeah. I mean, it always ends up just giving you more flexibility. How does the score work on the O-line? I don't know. I've never played in a league like that. Never really had, never really wanted to. And said, do you like Calvin Ridley as a flex play in redraft? I mean, I definitely don't like him as a starter. So, yeah, flex play would really be the only place that I'd be playing him. And assuming health, like, yeah, kind of. Because, I mean, what's his name? Hopkins. He's out for at least a couple weeks. I know I was reading the news earlier today. What up, Bakes? And Tyler Boyd, you know, he is back. They said he's back at practice after being hurt. But, yeah, I mean, Ridley's the one who's been there. Ridley's been the one that's been there so far. So, hopefully just the rapport with Will Levis. But I'm not high on Ridley at all. I'm probably not going to have him in too many leagues unless you get him super, super, super late. Let's see what Jamie's team's looking like. Zaire Franklin, Will Anderson, Levante David. I mean, that's nice for your linebackers. I mean, it sucks that it puts him in there at the linebacker because Will Anderson should be on the line. And then Derwin James, DeForest Buckner. Oh, Ken Murray in the 6th, bro. Boo. You fucked up there. He's going to be trash over there. Just watch. I know there's writing on the wall of how he can do good and everything, but no, Ken Murray's trash.
He's a bum. He was a bum then, and he's a bum now.
Frankie Louvu, solid. Hassan Reddick, not so much. Jordan Hicks. And I know we're probably you're getting down there, but Ken Murray, Hassan Reddick, Jordan Hicks, Bentley. I feel like those guys right there, I would have rather strengthened my DB positions. Would have much rather strengthened the DB positions or another linebacker because, like I said, I mean, Will Anderson's really your I mean, Bentley, I guess. Like, he's another, like, decent, like, linebacker there. But, yeah. I mean, it's solid, but I feel like there's room for improvement. Let's see how you do with the DBs that you get. DBs are very deep. Let's see who you end up getting. What up, Crispy? Where'd Crispy say what's up? He said, I said, what's up, motherfuckers? What up, Crispy? Will said Kassan Nixon, Marcus Jones are guys you need to be targeting at cornerback if your league rewards return yards. Those two guys I think are going to be DBs after I'm done with my draft. Yeah. I'm excited about this year. I've secured Laporta to start with Hawkinson riding the bench until he's healthy. Nice. Very nice. What up, Hollywood?
Sing about Hollywood.
Let's see. Now that some people showed up, let's see. Is there any other what other videos do we have to show here? Oh man, so how about this? Warren Sapp's coaching at Colorado State with Dion, and he's excited now.
Someone that never wanted to do this, I am really addicted to it right now. The babies are really giving me a purpose in life, and I'm enjoying it. When me and Prime was first talking about it, and It never dawned on me until the babies got to me. When I was in the hot tub, you know, trying to get my hip right, just to work with them a little bit, it flooded me. And they were reaching and grabbing and asking questions.
Colorado's about to have some
work with
dogs
pros
up
that'll
front
get my
now.
phone number and tell me they're coming to Miami and my house is 1.5 miles from where they work out, and they'll never call. These kids call me 5:30 in the morning. Hey, Coach, you gonna come watch tape with me? It's crazy. I'm like, yeah, give me a purpose to get off to the couch. I mean, trust me.
Colorado State's gonna have some dogs up front, man. If Warren Sapp is like excited about teaching all these kids, man, better watch out. Better watch out. Pass rush, man, could be killer over there. Bake said, what do you think that Justin Reed pick? He did good all out. Yeah, I mean, I like Justin Reed. He's solid. Where's that imposter at from last night? What happened? What imposter? What happened? What happened? Emil said Warren Sapp's the GOAT. Hell yeah, he is. Let's see, what other videos did I get here? Oh, how about this one? This one made me laugh. Cowboys are always taking cheap shots, bro. This was last week. Cowboys and Rams practice. Look at this. Ooh, shoves him on the ground. Shoves him on the ground. Look at that. Ooh, Tino, right in time. Look at this. Showing your Cowboys Rams inter practice squad. Look at this shit. Ooh, and Magic Man said, you're going to do a Madden League this year. Yes, but it's not going to be like NCAA, though. Not going to. Tito's a staff member as well. He just threw his ass to the ground. He didn't even have to push him hard. I mean, that's a big ass defense, big ass D tackle in there. He just real easy, just like shoved him to the ground. I saw that and I was dying. Oh man, fucked up cheap shot, but like it's hard not to laugh. Like when you look at it, you know, like I'm not on the Rams. I don't know that guy. Yeah, the guy's a jerk for doing it, but it was funny. It was funny. And Hollywood said that dude got kicked out afterwards, man. But he set the tone. He set the tone right there. And Magic Man said, what happened to NCAA? I never got an invite. Man, jump in because there's people who aren't even playing. You can, I can still add you to the league. We've only gotten through. We're on week 3. You can still jump in. I mean, this is a dynasty. We want to get through a couple years. But for Madden, what we're going to do a 100-yard dash race. Like, I don't know how many people we're going to actually get in to the franchise. I'm not even sure, like, how the franchise, like, actually, like works, like, on Madden. I mean, it should be, like, the same, right, as, like, NCAA. Yeah. Yeah, Dennis Rodman's daughter's killer on the USA soccer team. Crispy said, looks like that staff member just took a fall. He was out there flopping like LeBron James. Oh, man. And you know what? And I've been seeing some crazy stuff here as well. Like, look, players getting ejected and then just coming back and then, like, fucking up the ref. Like, what the hell? Look at this.
On defense, we got a personal foul, late hit on the quarterback, number 88, and non-sportsmanlike conduct, number 88 on the defense, has been disqualified.
Boom! Boom! Got him. Oh man. Add me first, Magic Man. It's FF Hustler 420. Just go send me an invite or add me as a friend, and then once I accept the invite, then I can invite you. It makes it easier that way. Theo said, thoughts on Josie Jewell this season? I love him, man. I love him. It's gonna be real good. Yeah, I mean, no Frankie Louvu, like over there, no Brian Burns, no Jeremy Chin. I mean, they got rid of a lot of their big playmakers, like over there for the last few years, and he's like, I mean, like the only guy. like over there. So yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it. So now, now that he's not on the same team with Singleton, like, yeah, man, Singleton. I mean, Josie Jewell's got some tackling fuel, but like Singleton, man, he's got the real tackling fuel over there.
Tackling fuel.
That's for sure. Did I mention Kelsey brothers are in Happy Gilmore too? What? That's cool. That's cool. I wonder if it's a cameo or, you know, that's it. Said, I got a lot over here this week. Let's go. Let's go. And Theo said, holy, that's assault. You want to see some assault? Here we go. So there was a racist ref. I can't remember where it was at, but I think they might say, but look at this.
Texas, 2 players were suspended for spearing a referee from behind. Appearing on GMA this morning, high school students Michael Moreno and Victor Rojas claimed their assistant coach told them to do it.
He pulled me and another player and told us, you need to hit the ref, he needs to pay the price.
For what?
Just for everything that's been going on in the game. There was racial slurs being thrown at, players from this referee. I guess his emotions got, mixed into it, and he told us, to do what we did.
Did you hear the referee use any racial slurs?
So he told one of my Hispanic friends, he speak English, this is America. And then
did you hear that, or did one of your friends tell you that?
No, I heard it. And then to an African American in our team, he told them the N-word.
And you heard that? Yes, you heard him say the N-word? Did you?
Like, I got it. Tina says they also mentioned the NFL commission approved NFL players playing in the Olympics. Okay. Only person that can stop him now is Goodell. There we go. There we go. I mean, you got a lot of money on the line. Anybody, like, I'm sure it'd be fun to go play, but man, does anybody really want to go out there and potentially get hurt? I mean, I know it's flag football. You're not going to get hurt by someone blasting you, but non-contact injuries, like, he said, bro, they just let that kid walk around with that. I know, right? Like, all business in the front, party time in the back. Said, I feel like this is more deserved than the last clip. The other guys get mad about getting ejected. For sure. For sure. We didn't even know what kind of cheap shot he actually took, but he took a cheap shot on the QB, and then he takes a cheap shot on the ref, like, right after that. Like, man, these kids are wild. These kids are wild. And I think, was that the only... Well, you guys weren't, I think pretty much nobody, maybe a couple people were around for this, but this just made me laugh when George Kittle, he was talking a little trash to the reporters in the room with him. Check this out.
Up your sneaker game. It's absolutely atrocious. I got some Vomeros. Those are fire. And Grant wears Vans every single day. New Balances. They look like Vans. Yeah, those are Vans. It's okay. But you wear those every day, so I need you to switch those up. But I observe all your guys' shoes, and I am disappointed in you guys as a community. So if we could up those, please. It's year 8, guys. Let's figure this out together.
Kittle's going to be done answering questions if these guys don't, guys and gals don't up their sneaker game. No, because especially where he is, he's looking at him sitting down in the chairs. Shoes are just right there, like right in his face. Whoever's in the front row, he can see all their shoes. Step it up. Step it up. Emil said, I judge a person by the shoes they wear. No lie. For sure. For sure. And like, it's super dope because, like, I'm always trying to rock some J's. Like, I went out to LA. I put on the snakeskins and the snakeskin low top 11s. And man, I got complimented so many times on those. I was like, bro, the snakeskins? What? I've never even seen those. I was like, what? I was like, they've released these twice now in the last 20 something years. But it's been a while, though, because I think when they re-released them, I think it was like 2013, 12, 14, something like that. I can't remember when it was. And Will said it's all hearsay. These kids are hurt by words. Hey, man, someone's going to be shouting some racial slurs. If you end up getting fucked up because of it, like, it was your fault for throwing those racial slurs. That's what I'll say. Because, yeah, man, like, racism it shouldn't fly. It just shouldn't fly. And you should get your ass whooped if you're a racist asshole. Said, I bet they can't keep the players off the field. No football athlete ever thought they would have a chance to get a gold medal. Maybe. I don't know. Jay, leave it in the house. What up, bro? Jamie said, were they made from real snakes? No. No. They're like patent leather. Oh yeah, Zoo Crew, what up, bro? Said Kittle has a mad shoe game. Hell yeah, man. If I had if I had that much money, I would like shoes were always one of my addictions. Like I can't wait to get back in it. I just don't have enough money to get in it, you know, because like it's I mean, there is no like reselling. I mean, you kind of can resell like shoes now, but it's funny that whole market is like dead because you could just get shoes like retail now. We still got to have the 150 to 200 though, you know. And Tina said, "This is the talk I wanted to have with you guys." Like, yeah, don't even ask me about my play on the field. We need to talk about your busted ass shoes that you got. What Crispy says, that the Crispy imposter in the best ball draft tonight? Yeah. Anthony something. Anthony. Yeah, he's got his full name like on there as his sleeper name. Yeah, that's the Crispy imposter. Will said, I like to rock my Crocs all day long. I mean, if I'm just at home, you know, I'll be wearing stuff like that. But, you know, most of the time, if I go out, I got some Jordans on. Because I even have just some regular walk around like J's that I buy just I'll get from the outlets or whatever. And those will be like the ones that I'll rock like every day. And the ones I got now, they're like some low top ones. They're like white and purple. And those are just nice for like walk arounds, easy to put on and easy to slip on and off. And then, but yeah, I like pulling out the snake skins though. Those are like probably some of my favorite ones. I got to find my shoe cleaner because I wore them for 2 days straight in LA. Bake said I used my Air Force Ones. There we go. Zoo Crew said I got like 20 pairs just chilling. Man, I got so many. Like they're all all in my garage and shit right now. But I sold a handful of them before I moved to Vegas. And yeah, I was super popular for like a week when I was selling a whole bunch of shit on OfferUp. And didn't care about people coming to the house. It was like a swap meet every day, like at my house, because some people would be coming over looking for shoes. I even sold all my beaters that I was going to throw away. All of them, all the beaters that I was going to throw away. Vanessa was like, you know, maybe you should just sell those. And I was like, you think? It's like, nobody's going to buy these. And like, there's some of those beaters I sold for $10, $20. And I was just about to throw those motherfuckers away. The guys who came and found me, it was the guys who do the shoe restoration. And yeah, people bought them. Shoes that I was literally about to throw away, sold some $5, $10, $20. And I was good. Just take a couple. So the low top ones, best every day. Hell yeah, man. Just super easy to slip on and off. And just comfortable enough. And Theo said, money's money. Hell yeah, because I was about to throw that money away. And just because I was downsizing, like trying to do whatever I could to like move to Vegas. And so, yeah, there was so much shit that I was just getting rid of just for any kind of travel money. And it was, it worked out because I think that whole, for like a week straight that I was selling old toys. Like I wasn't selling things for nothing. There was a lot that I gave deals on, but I still have like my more, I didn't give up the more expensive stuff for like nothing. Like I didn't sell all my shoes. I sold a lot of the ones that I knew that I was never going to wear. Because there were some that I bought that like weren't even my size. I bought a lot of different colors of like the 9s and the 11s and shit like that. And there were people like, I mean, I had my dead stock breads, you know, out there, but yeah, no one's coming with you know, 350, 400. Like that's what I'd want for those. Because if not, I'll just keep them and I'll wear them one day, someday. I'll wear those dead stock again. And Chris, no, Uncle Crispy, you're the dude in the Red Wing boots I trust to fix my plumbing. He said I'm the motherfucker that has the dirty sneakers. Yeah, I bet Crispy has his work boots for sure, right? So if I see a construction worker in some tennis shoes, I'm worried. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you better have some. You better have some steel toe boots on, or I know you ain't a real worker. Let me see. I think that was all of the videos. Well, actually, let's play this one one more time for some people who may not have seen it. Made me laugh.
To go Ezekiel Elliott.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
At the Fanatics Fest.
What's so funny?
Terrible pick.
You know I gotta go with my boy, Pat Mahomes, baby. What y'all think about that? That was dumb again? Brother, I ain't never done this. I don't even know why they put me on this panel. I am still confused on why I'm up here speaking sports. Odell Beckham Jr.
5-6 years too late, Drew.
Why you laughing, Jerry? Hey, chill, man. Don't throw no shade, bro.
Jerry said Odell ain't even showed up training camp yet.
Boy, you would have had a hell of a team 6 years ago, though.
I don't know what I'm doing, brother.
All right.
I don't know what I'm doing, brother. He said, bro, I'm the guy with the new safety helmet. I'm like, is that guy new? Yeah, man. You got like, even if it's, you got to beat it up a little bit, right? Like, man, something. Tito said Zeke with the 1-9. Salute. So funny. He said, holy shit, this dude trolling. No, he doesn't know anything. He said that he doesn't. He's like, I don't know why they got me on this panel talking sports. He's that's some dude from TikTok. Who is that? Someone threw it in there. What was the Drewski something? Yes, I do like Z. Well, yeah. Late, very late in drafts. Like, I mean, he's someone who doesn't. I mean, he's only picking people that he knows. Nothing based off of fantasy value or anything like that. Jamie said, when we doing the Battle of the Brands, either end of August or right after Labor Day. We got to pick a day and time. Now that we're almost filled, we got to get everybody paid up. We got to get everybody paid up on League Safe. Once we do that, though, we can set the day and time in stone of when we're going to draft. I want to get it to where a bunch of us could come on live, talk about our picks, all that kind of stuff. I made this league. This is like the ultimate, like you could build your strategy however the fuck you want in this league. It's a 14-team league. So you wanted to get a little bit more than 12, 14, next step up for sure. But you only have to start one running back and one wide receiver and one quarterback. Like you only have, those are the only positions you have to start just one of. And then we got 4 flexes and a super flex in there. So instead of that extra running back and wide receiver spot, those got turned into flexes. So it's going to be very interesting to see how people draft when you only have to start one running back and one wide receiver, not 2 and 2. It's going to be very, very fun. And let me see. Here's the oh, yeah. Here we go, Crispy. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to throw the picture up on the screen. This is going to be a league that everybody is going to want to be following for sure. And I'll be posting reviews and stuff about it all season. There we go. So it's the Battle of the Brands. 14 teams, 14 podcaster brands that we have out there. And so me, obviously, we got Wafers is in it. Jamie with the Going for Two podcast is in there. The Fantasy Roll is in there. I forget what the person that he recruited for the league. I think that it's Dogtown Football. I think, but they cover the Colts. We got the Gospel Sports Truth. We got Victory Formation. Dynasty Life Stevie is in there. Peacock is in there, repping the H-Town Huddle. And then we got Wafers in there as well. We got Surefire Sunday in there. So, yeah, we got, as of right now, we have 12. We have 12 in. So we need 2 more brands. 2 more brands to join, and then we are completely filled up. That one's going to be a fun one, though. Everyone going to be putting their best foot forward in that one. Battle of the Brands. Let's go. Tino said, what's that guy's team name? He's hella funny. I think that was just a mock draft, though. I think it was just a mock draft. I don't think that was I don't think that was a real league. All right, let me try to find this. Let's watch a few minutes of let's watch a few minutes of this ESPN draft. Because these guys suck. Hopefully we don't get flagged for this. But let's watch a couple minutes of this so you can see how horrible the ESPN analysts are.
We feel pretty good about that contract getting sorted out in Dallas. So I'm going to take Bijan Robinson.
Wow. Wow. That was rude.
So the number one pick was CMC. I'm not going to rewind it. Number one pick was CMC. And Jamie said Peacock does his own podcast. I need to follow that for sure. So he was doing it here on my channel, and we'll see if it continues. And he was just doing like weekly. He was doing weekly segments. H-Town Huddle.
I think it's a special football player. I think we're talking about a guy who, in a couple of years, we could be discussing him as the modern version of Christian McCaffrey.
I watched the first couple picks, but the shit that you were telling me just made me seem like I need to watch it.
Basically an octogenarian in Mike's book by the time he is 30. So
there's optimism that they'll get a deal done. Now, I don't know exactly where he's getting that from because.
Congratulations. Tyler Fulgham, you're now on the clock. 3rd overall.
Candidly, I'm not happy about it either. I thought I was going to be able to snipe Mike Clay's most coveted player, but my strategy coming into this draft was I wanted to leave the first round in the top 3 spot with either CMC, Bijan, or Breece Hall. So Breece Hall is left, and I will take Breece Hall. You guys made the decision for me, but I think I get a running back here that's going to be in a much improved offense because of Aaron Rodgers. They're going to score a lot more touchdowns than they did a season ago. He's going to
1,500 yards from scrimmage. That brings us to your adversary, Mike Clay.
10-teamer.
So I don't really know like other sports that well, but wasn't there like a baseball player that had he was like in the database twice? You could use him as like a pitcher and I forget who that was.
Can we do that with Bijan?
Can we do that with Bijan?
Can I have him as a wide receiver? The thing is that I actually don't know if you're being facetious about not knowing Shohei's name.
No,
okay, you didn't know that.
Half joke. I'll take CeeDee Lamb. I'll have to settle for CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, we just talked about the stat. I mean,
first wide receiver off the board.
His first 7 games, the first 7 weeks of the season, right?
They're not terribly far apart. He's too important for this team not to get that deal done. If this team goes into Cleveland on opening day with Tom Brady in the booth and doesn't have CeeDee Lamb, shame on them for not getting the deal done.
And shame on Mike Clay for taking him 4th.
There we go.
He's not available. I kind of don't want him there now.
Take the first month off. I'm good.
Okay, Liz Loza, you are now on the clock at pick number 5.
Well, it is interesting. I am now left with a quartet of elite receivers. Tyreek Hill is available. I hear he's pretty good. He's went over 100 catches for 3 straight years and over 1,700 yards. The only player to do that in back-to-back seasons. Justin Jefferson's proven to be quarterback agnostic. Amon-Ra St. Brown has a pretty high floor. Of these fellows, however, I think I got to go with the cheetah because cougars and cheetahs.
I like it. Very good.
You like a cougar life. You like a puma. I'm like a puma.
I don't know much about feline, like, what phase, which.
That's sick.
Right there. And yeah, you know what? You got
consistency in round 1 of the draft. You look at some of the numbers. Most games with 100 receiving yards last season, he had 9.
Amon-Ra, number 6.
Games with 15 or more.
By the way, before we start drafting, I just want to point out the way that I have approached this draft, very demure, right? Very mindful, very respectful. I come to the draft like I come to ESPN Bet, right? Very approachable, very professional. I just want to point. I just want to point those out for those, of course, who follow TikTok. Anyway, what do I do here? Because in my opinion, Justin Jefferson is for sure. This little guy right here. So this little guy right here is like, obviously the best, in my opinion, the best wide receiver on the board. Jamar Chase. I love Jamar Chase, but hey,
I need a bath.
Stefania's telling me I just don't know if Joe Burrow is going to stay healthy this season. And you know what? This guy bit me in the behind last season because Joe Burrow did not stay healthy, and Jamar Chase did not demure. Not demure. No, the fact that I said behind. So I could have said something else, but it's a family show.
Hurry up and pick, damn it.
Here's what I'm going with.
So what's wrong with all these shows? 20 years ago, all these people on the panel were high school nerds, and now they're judging all the bullies.
With your guy, Aaron Rodgers, I'm going with Garrett Wilson.
Oh, look at that.
Baby, I got
Garrett Wilson at the number 7 overall pick.
I was looking at Garrett Wilson. I mean, listen. Again.
This guy would be on the clock, but we're going to go right here with Justin Jefferson.
There you have it.
Again, you wouldn't think that he'd be.
Jamar Chase, when he's on the field, is a transcendent level talent. We have one final pick
Jamar
in the
Chase.
first round. The first of Stefania's 2 picks. We'll take one and get to a break. Who will be the final player taken in the first round of the biggest mock draft of the year?
So.
Yeah, first round, doing too much.
Figure out what everybody's strategy is here, but then I can also set the trend when I pick my pick in the next round. So I know I want a running back in the first 2 rounds, and I'm just not going to waste time. I'm going to get one of the running backs who, to me, if I waited after these 2 picks, there's going to be a significant drop-off. So I am going to go with Saquon Barkley.
I know.
See some of these other fantasy half. You had said you liked the over. You're one of the only people I can ask a betting question to.
ESPN Deportes and ESPN.
I was hoping everyone was going to pass because of the injury and I'd get him, but all right, well done.
Damian Woody
Puka. So Puka, pick 11.
At the end of all this,
are we handing out grades? We might be.
Barkley and
to the very end to find out. Damian Woody.
Yeah, I've been, this offseason, there's been one team that I've kind of said there's been like a sleeper team that I'm bullish on.
I'm not mad at the Barkley pick. I got him as number 4. Right, Jamie? Bunch of rookies.
There's one particular play.
We're going to go through the first 2 rounds.
How he, expects to break out. But I'm going to pick his backfield mate, Jonathan Taylor.
I like it.
I think Jonathan Taylor, I think the plan that they're going to have is for.
I don't like.
I like it.
A Detroit Lion running back.
All right, this is important, America.
Gibbs.
Right out the hamstring.
I don't like drafting at 7. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just don't.
How many T-shirts will you have by the end of the
Took Puka 8th overall. Crazy.
So fun. So I
Crazy.
participated in like a ton of mock drafts, but like none of the guys that
It's nice to know we're better drafters than these experts, for sure.
Participated in our anyway.
So you're saying we're the smartest crew you've drafted?
I'm surprised.
Just imagine the big money these people are getting paid to make horrible picks. Yeah. True analyst.
I actually wouldn't put.
Get in the zone.
Do up here in Bristol, Connecticut.
You speak for yourself. Easy.
Come on, Anita Bath. Make your fucking pick already.
I have obviously Kyron Williams, right from the Rams. Pacheco, who I think is going to have a really great season with Kansas City. But something is pulling at my heartstrings for Derrick Henry in the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know, but I just feel like one thing I do know, and Damien, you can attest to this.
They get paid big money because they have writing degrees. Yeah. Go to school, kids. Yep.
Wide open all day, baby. I'm age concerns me. I got to go with Derrick. I've got to go with Derrick Henry. I got to go with Derrick Henry. I think he might lead the NFL running backs in touchdowns this season, even though Lamar Jackson.
I hate that she picked him.
And he's a unicorn. He is not a running back who's going to MC fantasy.
So let's talk about AJ Brown. So
AJ Brown at 15.
Fantasy points per game, and yet I'm not buying it because I am very high on Blake Corum, who the Rams drafted in the 3rd round and proved that he could handle all of the volume during his time in Ann Arbor. So I am going to go, this might be a shock, with the running back who is attached to, I don't know, the best quarterback in the entire league, Isaiah Pacheco.
That's controversial right there. You believe that about Mahomes?
Yes.
Okay, good. I like it. Put me up.
Just to piggyback on what Daniel said.
Here I am sitting with a Los Angeles Ram right in front of me.
I'll
Kyron
say
Williams is the pick.
Kyron probably likes puppies and puts the toilet seat down.
Crispy said,
You
"Take
did
all the
make a good
pictures.
pick there. I begrudgingly
I'm going to give
admit
1
that
million
Kyron
to you and
Williams
1 million to
like this
someone
one?
that graduated.
Oh,
Who
man,
should
that
I trust?"
actually my cheat sheet. I might have to change. Can I change this pick? My cheat sheet is just
Yep.
not draft.
Because people are going to watch it anyways, even if they watch it just to make
running
fun.
back last year outside of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
on a per game basis. So I mean, I know Blake Corum might be
Kyron's the
Michigan man, might be a bit of a threat, but we know Sean McVay when he finds running backs that he loves, and he loves Kyron Williams.
Unfortunately, he was at one point playing 99% of the overall board.
Shefty, you may recall just 2 years ago that this particular wide receiver had literally the greatest fantasy receiving season of all time. Yeah. And I know he got hurt last year, but before, remember the first drive when he came back against Philadelphia in week 5 or 6?
Cooper Kupp in the second round.
I was watching that game with you, Shefty, in the war room down there. Twitter was blowing up like, oh my God, Cooper Kupp's even better than ever. Yep. Now we saw Puka Nacua get in there. They're going to be 1A, 1B, but on any given day, I think we can get those 10-catch, 100-yard TD performances from Cooper Kupp. He looks and appears as healthy as ever this training camp.
I'm looking at Mike Clay's draft cheat sheet. And by this estimation, he's got Cooper Kupp as the 24th rated wide receiver in this draft.
Should we just do like Should we do like the final draft grades now? Draft at
Wow.
24.
Last year. Doc, you're on the clock.
Yeah, this one's easy for me. Okay. Because I want to leave this round with a running back if I can help it. And thankfully, a running back got here that I am still in on. Even though I took CMC up front number 1 overall.
One sec, Dow Mac. 1 sec. We're going to get through the end of this round, then I'm turning this off. Then I'll answer your question. Kupp should have slipped to the 4th. I mean, this is a 10-man league. Like, yeah. 4th round, like, easily he's going there. Maybe even a 5th in the 10-rounder.
That is a huge, and he still has room to unlock even more efficiency from his game. I think he
available players.
I think gets lost in the running back room amongst all these other guys. He had 9 games with 17 or more.
No, that was pick 20. Okay, that was the end of it. Yeah, so I just wanted to show that, make us all feel good, you know, about ourselves, because yeah, we're a lot better. Okay, because we're a lot better than these ESPN peeps, you know, for sure. They have no idea what's going on, the pulse of fantasy football and what's going on right now. And I said they had draft magazines. He said league is started in 2002 on Yahoo Sports. I always use some type of app. Yeah. I mean, I bought magazines before. It's been like a long ass time since doing that. It's like there's no reason there's no reason to anymore. It really isn't. Like, as long as I can look at an app, and not even to see the players that are available, but as long as I have something where I can have a list, you know, of my own. Max, I'm currently trying to make a decision in my dynasty league, so I'll have Will Anderson in my DE, but also have Latu. Should I try to trade Latu? Who are you higher on in the long run? Probably higher on Anderson in the long run, but I don't know. I don't think there's a reason to trade Latu right now. Like, he hasn't even raised his value. You know, like, I mean, yeah, he's one of the better, like, rookies this year. Let him have a couple sacks in the first, like, you know, quarter of the season, first 4 games or whatever in the season. Let him get a couple sacks. His value is going to be going way, way up, and then you trade him then. So, no, I would say just hold as of right now. So this reminds me of old school drafting where you all get together in a bar with our magazine, and then draft took 4 hours, and we were all ripped by the end of the day. Yeah, drafts used to take forever. I mean, they still do sometimes. And we always had, you know, 18, 19, 20 starters. So our in-person drafts always took forever. Said, damn, you guys just made me realize I haven't seen a magazine in a while. He said, I used to get the Sports Illustrated and Game Informer hella pumped when they showed up, for sure. For sure. Sports Illustrated, I'm sure it's there, but it's like, it's pretty expensive, isn't it? So there were lots of fantasy football magazines back in the day. Yeah, and I mean, they're still there. I mean, if you go to like a Barnes and Noble or, you know, Walmart or like whatever, you know, they still have them there. But it's just like, what's the point of like getting them? Because like when you realize that like all these magazines were written in April and they've been on the shelf since May. And, you know, like some of it's useful for your drafts, but like you could accomplish the same thing with a big list of players. Like that's it. Cause like there's so much information that you can read in there. And there's so much information that's just straight like bullshit in those magazines. Yeah, it's pretty goofy. Yeah, no point at all to get them. No. Because everything changes. Everything changes. So you give a lot of advice, and then the magazines, give a lot of advice, and then the magazines, and you're free. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm free. I do hope that people join as Patreon members, as paid members, and I mean, yeah, it's free when I'm doing this, but watch what happens when the season comes. And there's like 500 people in here trying to get the free information. It's going to be really hard to give everybody information, and that's why the paid Patreon members, like, they're going to get the red carpet. Like, just think of it like a club, and if you're in Patreon, you get to cut the line pretty much every time you're answering questions. Like, that's what goes on in like being a paid member around here. We used to chisel the picks with on a rock slab. Fucking Crispy was in the league with Jesus back in the day. Who won, Crispy? Who won? He said I could buy some American fantasy football magazines for like $15 to $25. Fuck. I mean, I feel like a lot of them even here, $10, $8, but like, yeah, 15 to 25, man, they got to get shipped over there. So I always used to brush up on fantasy football knowledge with those magazines while sitting on the toilet. I mean, back in the day, I mean, there wasn't as many resources, we go to I would say 2016. Like, everything was like changing by then already. Like, Yahoo had upped their game. I'm sure ESPN had upped their game in a certain, to a certain extent, by that time. I think ESPN hasn't updated their app since like 2012. So maybe it was 2012 for them when they hit their peak. But Sleeper was coming around like around that time, like, as well. So there was a lot of things were changing. And then I didn't really listen to like podcasts and stuff back then, but I know they were out there because I like saw them. There were some that I listened to that were just like straight trash, and I'm like, man, I need to create a podcast. Like, somehow I'd been thinking that for years, but always so busy doing everything that I was doing, trying to stay afloat. It wasn't until COVID that I actually made the push. Was not until COVID. So I'm about to get Sports Illustrated. I don't want to die. It's only $20 for your team. For your team sub. I imported that shit. The same story sells the Sunday Times. About $30. Jesus. I don't know how much the Sunday Times costs, but maybe $5. I don't know. I mean, back in the day, it was like the Sunday papers were like, if the regular papers were what, like 25 or 50 cents. Like, I mean, I don't even know how long ago this was. It was like the Sunday paper was like $1.25, or like going back some years now. The only times I actually cared about it, like back when you had to do that to get like the Best Buy like catalog or whatever. Fucking crazy. Crispy said met Jesus at a brothel. Was he giving that water into wine story? And Will said it was so barren for fantasy football information. Talented Mr. Roto was the best you got. Yeah, and it's crazy because I never messed with any kind of Matthew Berry anything. I saw him on the league, and was like, and then like, well, I guess actually when he was on the league, I mean, they'd already started the ESPN like Sunday countdown or whatever. That was pretty much like, I still put it on like sometimes just to be like, we're gonna beat you one day. We're gonna beat you one day. Tina said first podcast I can remember is Footballers, maybe like late 2015. Yeah. And it was probably 2016 for me when I started listening to the Footballers. I think it was the Footballers and ESPN. And then like from there, all the new ones started like trickling. Johnny said I didn't play fantasy. All right, from 2011 to 2021, everything was new and fancy when I came back. Damn, that's a long time, bro. That's a long time. Dang, 2011 to 2021. Marco said $1.25 for a newspaper. Damn, how old are you? That's what I said. This is like easily 20 years ago. You know, something like that. June Lee said, should I trade for a good RB if I have average ones? Right now, I got good receivers. I mean, you always want to try to tier up. You know, you're always trying to get better guys. But like as of right now, like there's no point of going for anybody except like the top 3. Tino said all those shows are standard format. You can't go wrong. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say. But yeah, if you just listen to them, we just realize we're just like so far ahead of them as far as like the information that they're giving. Jamie said, I started listening to ESPN, CBS, NFL Network back in 2006. Damn. Yeah, see, I wasn't into podcasts. I think 2015, I think that's when I first started getting into podcasts. Max are pretty new to fantasy, so I had an experience walking up the hill both ways for information. Yeah. And just off of like being in the know on information, that's how I used to destroy people. Like back before Sleeper, you know, and Yahoo and all these you know, apps were just giving everybody the information. You had to follow Twitter. And like I would follow all the beat reporters, Adam Schefter. I mean, okay, how about this? I would follow Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, you know, the main guys like that. And then from there, I would follow all the beat reporters, as many as I could find for as many teams. That's the only reason I used Twitter, was just to get fantasy football information. So like when like everybody, I had all alerts on. All alerts were on. And like in the off season, I would just turn the alerts off. And then like season came back in, alerts back on. And that's how for a few years I would just dominate people. Because I was just first to the information, quickest to the apps. I'm not trading until the season starts. Motherfuckers wanting top youth for old trash. Yeah, there's no point. Like every trade that I've got really hasn't been anywhere up my alley. Yeah, I'm just waiting. And then we're going to wait. Pounce on a player with a nice first rounder. Alex is so old. When he went to the army, they still had the drummer boys. Will said, my very first fantasy league, I drafted David Boston and Curtis Martin, got offered Priest Holmes. And Taylor Jackson, I turned trade down. Totally blew that deal. And Dalmax said, Twitter's actually great for preseason training camp film and info. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it still is. And that's where I get a lot of my information like from. But like now they even have the My Fantasy Life or whatever, you know, to where you don't have to go follow everybody like I do on Twitter. Literally, they follow most of the main people that you need to follow. And then all the information gets digested into one place. So that's what I'm saying. Like not saying Twitter isn't good. I still use Twitter for a lot of different things, but I'm just saying, like back then, Twitter got the information so much faster than everybody else. So much faster. Like now, if there's breaking news or something, like, yeah, it may come first on Twitter, but it's like, you know, we're talking seconds before it's on other apps, you know, and we're getting like, usually when we get any kind of big news, I mean, shit, there's 5 different apps that are like sending me the same information, same fucking information at the same fucking second. Crispy said, fuck Twitter. Tino said, Twitter is gold. He said, y'all wish you had my Twitter. I don't tell anybody. June Lee said, this is also my first fantasy year, and I drafted St. Brown. Nice. Someone said they'd give me straight up for St. Brown. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. Here's what you need to do, June Lee. You need to go sign up for my fantasy football consultant website. If you're going to be on here a lot, you may not have to do that, but you want to be on there because like you don't want anybody taking advantage of you with trades. And like that's the way that people are like try to get over on new people, is like screwing them over on trades. But yeah, check it out. It's 420crew.com. 420crew.com. And it's not a website if you're talking about the My Fantasy Life, or is it My Fantasy Life? Hold on. Actually, I think it's just Fantasy Life now. Fantasy Life, and it's an app. It's Matthew Berry's failed experiment. I still like it for the updates and stuff, and they're getting a little bit better about putting some IDP like stuff on there. But if you don't want to follow a million Twitter accounts, like you could just follow them for notifications, and it's like a whole bunch of everything, and mostly it's coming from Twitter, that's being put all into one place. So that was always like a cheat code, like for me, like after the fact. Because I still have everything from Twitter now, but I mean, because of My Fantasy Life, if it's brand new news, I mean, I'll be getting it on just that one app, then still getting it from Sleeper and Yahoo and everybody else. Said also getting multiple messages of the same news helps me remember that shit. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, St. Brown way over JT. But yeah, Fantasy Life. It's Matthew Berry. You better be paying me for this shit. But that's one thing that I am trying to create as well, an app that brings in all the news for just different fantasy sports, because they only cover football. So if anybody wants to get involved, let me know. We need investors. That's what we need. And but yeah, an ultimate fantasy news resource for like any fantasy that you follow, even the crazy fantasies that Crispy follows. But yeah, one day we're gonna have all these things created. We just take some money, because I have the vision of what these things need, and like knowing what's out there, like making it better than everything that's out there as well. Way better experience, because the experience kind of sucks on all these places. That's why none of them have actually like super taken off. But you will get a lot of news being on Patreon as well. Yeah, because anytime I see something happen when I'm not live, I'm posting about it, making sure that people are just in the know. Because it's always fun for me, letting people know like the brand new news that comes out. Yep. People have tried and failed, because Fantasy Life, they tried to create a fantasy football social media, and it didn't work. I do have an idea for that as well, but this one I know would be a lot more expensive for sure. I've talked about it before, but yeah, if anybody knows any rich people out there who really like fantasy football, I mean, I have the idea for like the ultimate fantasy football platform that's out there. Because every single platform, including Sleeper, is not doing it 100% correct yet. Even Sleeper is not 100%. Because there's still things that I wish that they had that they don't. Even though they do make updates and shit every single year, they're still lacking in a few. Areas. And Marco said $3 million is a little much for me. Don't worry. Just throw in $2 million. Okay. We'll come up with some other money as well. We got to get a couple heavy hitters, involved in this. But we're talking the best fantasy football platform in existence. Best fantasy football platform in existence. See what June Lee say. I have St. Brown, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Rashee Rice as wide receivers. Kenneth Walker, I mean, that's not that bad as a number one. Could be a lot worse. James Conner, should I trade my receivers for better RBs because my RBs are bad? Yeah, see, I wouldn't even be panicking just yet, because those RBs are good enough to go into the season with. And there's going to be people who are going to come on waivers every single week. And there's going to be people who get players hurt. And then they're going to need to make trades. Like, everybody's healthy right now, not a good time to trade. You just hold. That's not a horrible situation to walk into week one with. Because, yeah, I don't want to trade any of them. I don't want to trade St. Brown or A.J. Brown. Like, man, that's a nasty stack right there. I don't want to trade them away. He said, you get $3 million, open a McDonald's and Starbucks and stay on vacation. Fuck that, man. Fuck McDonald's and fuck Starbucks. Fuck that. I want to work for myself, not for them. Even if you get a franchise, you're working for them. Fuck that. And Will said I would move one of my leagues from Fantrax to Sleeper because they didn't have best ball. Nice. Fantrax. I only use Fantrax for the playoff leagues. I still don't even like it like that much. But yeah, see, also a reason why we would have the best fantasy football platform around, because we'd have everything for all these degenerates. Yeah. Get you a Taco Bell, man. Fuck Taco Bell. Fuck all those fast food shitty restaurants. Because, like, the more that we go, like, look at how much they have to charge for that shit now. Like, look at how much they have to charge for that. Fuck that. It's going to be more and more people boycotting those like type of places. Like, yeah, I boycott those type of places. Fuck no, am I going to pay to get in fucking business with them to be a franchise owner? And look at all those fucking look at all those McDonald's and all those places that are having to close down because of whatever reasons. For whatever reasons. Yeah, but I do prefer the customization on Fantrax. Well, what? Give me some specifics for the customization on Fantrax that you like over Sleeper. Alex would even use holders and punters on the app. We'd make it for all the degenerates. For all of them. Said, but Devontae Adams has Taco Bell in his living room. Said an investor, just another fancy name for a boss owner that doesn't show up to work. Hey, don't matter. Don't matter. As long as I have the 51%, I'm the boss. Whoever has that 51% is the boss. Or the highest percent if nobody has 50%. And got Jalen Hurts and Kirk Cousins. Is that enough? And how many teams are in this league, June Lee? Let's how many teams are in this league? Said, do I start Evans or Rice? You start Evans. And he said the only tight end I have is Evan Ingram. Is that good enough? Yeah. And Tino said, no investor going to fully fund something and then give you half. Well, maybe it's not one investor that fully funds it. I mean, the best way is to get a few investors, not just one. And, I mean, there's businesses that get funded all the time by people who don't have over 50% or only have 49%, and it's right there or something. Happens all the time. Does it happen? Does it happen in every single industry? Probably not. Probably not. But this would definitely be some anything that we do here is definitely going to be something that's built off of being ahead. Off of being ahead before it goes mainstream. And they would have to believe in everything that I'm doing already. And as I watch Shark Tank, see what percentage they get. Yeah, a lot. I mean, there's not that many that. What most of the people on Shark Tank, they aren't coming in there with a zero, with like no funding, no nothing. So a lot of times, I mean, shit, a lot of times we see the super, super huge investments. It's like a very small percentage in the company. Don't trade those wide receivers. Correct. 10-man league. Okay. 10-man league. Yeah, never. Do not trade Amon-Ra or A.J. Brown at all. Those guys are like your untradeable guys. Don't even entertain a trade with those guys. Yeah, and those are not even fully funded most of the time. Yeah, and most of the time, 25, 33%. I mean, those, I'd say like that's probably the most popular number, like a fourth or a third is probably the most popular that they get. You say, I'll be honest, team, working for yourself isn't the most what most people think. I work for the customers now. Yeah, you're telling me. Yeah. But guess what? I'd rather work for myself than someone else. Been doing it for since 2020. And yeah, I'm working for the people for sure. That's the people who are funding everything for me. Privately invested. Could you imagine if I had an investor like in the show and I had to be a fucking tool? Woo! I don't have to answer to anybody except Vanessa. And don't have to. I can just stay here and smoke weed and not care about anything else and answer all the questions that I can answer. I said I think about going back to a company all the time. Just clock in and clock out, not think about it, but now I'm fully invested, no going back. Yeah. It's the American way to make your own buck. You know, that's the American way, being your own boss. And yeah, you're always a boss to your customers. I mean, that's the way that it works. But if you do good, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. When you do good, you run the show. It's the way that it is. And so the only time you're really what are we gonna say, where you're really let's see, because the word I was about to say isn't the right one, but you know, if you're really like, if your customers like are really that much of a hassle, you know, it's probably because you're not good at what you do. You know, so I'm sure you don't deal with that a lot, Tino, because I'm sure you are good at what you do. Johnny said I went back to a paycheck jobs after being my own boss for a long time, and it sucks. I prefer the stress of relying on myself, right? Right. Especially when these jobs don't care about us, man. He can just fire you at any time. What up, Evan? He said, what's good? He said, which would you rather have to start your draft with? Brees DK Cup or Tyreek A-Chain DK? Brees DK Cup. I mean, but why? I guess I'm wondering why, like how this would all kind of work out. Said, bro, you have no idea how crazy people. Trust me, man. I've worked with customers in all types of industries. When I was a W-2 employee, when I was a 1099 employee or contractor, and then I've dealt with customers like right now, you know, with everything that I do, because anybody who pays me is a quote unquote customer, you know, right? And but just ask some of the people who are quote unquote customers of my business the type of relationships, you know, that we have. Like, man, I mean, a lot of customers, you know, have turned into like some of my best friends, you know, and like, so it's like, it's different, but it's a fantasy football industry. Like I'm in a way different type of service industry, you know, than most people are with their own business. So it's just, it's way different. You know, it's way different, but trust me. I've worked at grocery stores. People are fucking insane. I've worked for Verizon, cell phone people, fucking insane. I've worked with real estate agents. Real estate agents are the most insane out of everybody because they expect to pay no money and just get all these insane results. And then I've dealt with fantasy football people. Some of the people are insane that we deal with. You see the type of questions that we get. And Jamie said, who do you think will have a better season, Dotson or Michael Wilson?
Well, obviously,
kind of leaning on Dotson, but man, I mean, I'm not high on either of these guys, though. I mean, I know they're very far down the pecking order, but I just feel like there's more upside with Dotson. I mean, Michael Wilson, there's a few people in the pecking order above him. I mean, I know there is a few for Dodson, but service workers are expected to do the most for the cheapest when the customer really needs it the most. For sure. For sure. Crispy, I'm sure, is very underpaid and undervalued being a plumber, and plumbing's so fucking important. You don't have plumbing, your house is gonna smell like shit. Like, you can't take a shower whenever you want. So, like, yeah, for sure. And Tino saying, guess what? It's not cheap. Nope. That's why I love everything that I'm doing. It's all digital. It's all digital. There's no overhead on the, well, I mean, minus like processing fees and shit like that. But for the most part, there's no overhead in the products and service that I'm moving. Evan said I have the third pick in the draft, and during mocks usually comes down to Brees or Tyreek. Yeah, for sure. And he said at the 3, and then I'm trying to find the best way to build the team in the 2nd and the 3rd round. I would really I'd really try to go running back, wide receiver, and then best player available, running back or wide receiver. It just depends on who's there in the 3rd. But that makes a lot more sense now that you actually, explained it that way. So I'm not mad at it. I mean, both of them I kind of like, with the 2nd and the 3rd. But yeah, I really like Brees there, like at the top, because it's going to be easier to get more top end wide receivers even at that spot, even if you went Brees and then wide receiver, because the wide receivers were the best, in that spot. Like, that's still going to be a super solid start. Tina said your house flooded middle of the night, your kid's crying, it's going to cost a lot of money to get Uncle Crispy there. For sure. Middle of the night, fuck yeah, man. Because, like, there ain't going to be no fucking Roto-Rooter or anything like that that's working like 24 hours. It'd have to be legit someone who runs their own business like that, who relies on those kind of calls, even though it fucking sucks to get a call like that, I'm sure. And they're not going to be happy about the price at all. I mean, shit, in a situation like that, you ain't happy about anything, that's happening, right? If your house is legit fucking pipe burst and flooding in the middle of the fucking night, like, everything's just it's all bad. It's all bad. Marco. And he worked for Hustler Movies as a fluffer. No. But I did. What is funny though, when I was in LA, every time I go to LA, it always sparks like old memories, like for me. And there was this one chick that I knew from San Diego who ended up going to UC Riverside. And UC Riverside, like, I'm in Riverside a lot, still to this day. And just randomly they hit me up while I was in Riverside, and they were like, hey, come down. And we went down, we smoked and stuff, and then I met like some of her friends that she was hanging out with. And one of the friends that she was hanging out with, their mom was like an executive with a company in the adult industry, a film company in the adult industry. And they had a movie that was coming up. I was actually working at a video store at this exact time, and it was the last store in San Diego where they had adult movies and mainstream movies in the exact same building. What up, Zeb? He said, cool shirt. Yeah, make way for the bad guy. Freddy versus Jason. And so they knew that I was just kind of like just into that scene, or what, just interested in that scene. How about that? So then they call me and like, hey, my mom said that they need extras for a movie that's going to be shot in LA. And it was we'd get paid, for being there. I mean, we had to drive, all the way from San Diego to LA. But we'd get paid, I think it was like $75 a day or like something for being there. And I didn't know what to expect about anything, but I just brought a bunch of weed and I was like, okay, yeah, let's go. This is back in my 420 hustler days. So, if I could just have one thing for sale, could make that money back. And it was a very, very insane, like 2 days of shooting. Kai Beck said, would you rather have Breece Hall or Jamar Chase 12-man? I'd rather have Breece Hall, and I know that's a choice that a lot of people are making in the first round. I'm on the running back side. I think more often than not, like CMC, he's going at number 1 still a lot. I mean, number 1 or number 2. Like, it's really not going outside of that. But I feel like Bijan and Breece, I'd rather have over anybody else in the first round if I could get one of those two guys. I'd rather have the running back if it's one of those two guys. You know, CMC would be in there as well, but unless you have a top 2 pick, you're not getting them, like I said. But I would rather have one of those 2 running backs in the first round, double back in the second round with the wide receiver. That's where I'd be going. Yeah. Because those top 3 guys, CMC, Breece, and Bijan, those guys, it's like everybody else is in another tier. Like there's a handful of those wide receivers that are like top tier wide receivers. Zeb said, when you coming out to Disney Anaheim? January. End of January. Said, got you the Hilton discount. I'll come say what up. Hell yeah. So it's going to be end of January. Last week in January, actually. Yeah, it's going to be for Fantasy Football Championship / Vanessa's birthday / Regal and Noble's birthday. You know, we're going to be celebrating it all like during that time. Yeah, going to be a fun trip. Regal's first trip to Disneyland. And then it's funny, Noble 7, I think he's gone like 6 or 7 times like already. I was trying to like figure out like how many times it's actually gone, but when I was in San Diego, like fuck, we would just go on a whim like some days, like, oh, you know what, Disneyland's about to get crazy in like 3 weeks, why don't we go right now? They still have $100 tickets. Noble's free. And yeah, so that was always the way. That was always the way to do it. Seb said, guy wants me to trade Taylor Ayuk a 25 second for my CMC and a 25 third 12-man dynasty. I get the Taylor side. Nah, I just hold. I'm holding. Marco said all the video stores that didn't sell or rent porn just didn't work out. So just like Blockbuster Video when they tried to establish her. Yeah, it's funny. Because out of all the video stores, I bet that one's still. I bet that one's still there. Like I worked there for years. It'd been there like for a long ass time, and they were like one of the old ones that were like grandfathered in to where you could have the adult movies, you know, in there. And so that's what's was crazy. And like I don't know if he invented it necessarily, but the guy who had the video store, he had the adult video version of Netflix going, and where they would just mail out the DVDs for rent. So back when Netflix still shipped the physical DVDs. Do they even do that anymore? But I remember I did that for a long time with Netflix, and they had the adult version like of that. Because there would be sometimes when I said, bro, those DVDs must be so gross. I wasn't involved in any of the cleanup. There's other people who handled the intake of the videos. Of the not the videos, of the DVDs. But yeah, there was only a few times like when I was actually there, yeah, they were so busy or they were so understaffed because of whatever reason that they actually had like anybody who worked in the bottom floor. I was in the retail section, and it got crazy sometimes. It definitely got crazy sometimes. Yeah, there was some characters. Let me just say that much. But it was cool because at one point I felt like I'm the Quentin Tarantino, you know, of this place. I'm like in the video store with all the knowledge on all these movies. And I mean, my knowledge for movies is way more than it was back then. I mean, shit, I was only 19 when I actually when I worked there. But yeah, that was a fun job for 2 years. In Germany, it really was that way. All the video stores had a porn section, or at least the ones that I visited. Yeah, for sure. Whoa, on TV, just on regular cable TV? Interesting. 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 Uh-oh. I think Noble's doing something crazy. Might be about that time. Might be about that time. All right. Yeah. Another episode of Elevated Sports Talk. Let me shout out all the producers of the show, all our 420 Crew Patreon members, our Ultimate members, our All Access members, our Elite members, Superstar members. We appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do this every single day. Salute. Salute to the crew. All right, Bakes is back. He said was on the phone for an hour. Well, there we go. We're about to smoke another bowl for Bakes. Should we do a bowl then dab? Should we do a bowl then dab? Marco said on regular TV, you can see naked people. And after 10 or 11, you can see some interesting commercials. Interesting. You know what's crazy? In America, the only company to do this is the one advertising the drugs in the middle of the night. The fucking all the fucking what's it called? All the drugs over there, all the different drugs. Damn it, dropped a fucking nug. All right. Crispy said tonight draft full. No. Let me go see. As of right now, there's only 2 people in. Only 2 people in as of now. I'm putting the link in right now. All right. Yep, got it. We're good. All right, let's do a bowl then dab. Got my bowl packed. Let's get the dab packed. Fuck, and I need to clean this, man. Been so fucking busy trying to edit videos. I'm still trying to finish editing all those mock drafts that we did, the last 3. All right, let's go to the drip. Drip took good care of me while I was out there. Drip took good care of me. So we're going to shout them. All right. Here we go. All right. Nice. Yabba dabba doo. And so I'm going to figure out exactly what we're going to be raffling off. I'm trying to hold out to see if we get monetized by YouTube. Need to get to 4,000 hours of watch time. So if you guys really, really want to help the cause, just leave videos on in the background somewhere. Help me get that watch time up because, I don't know. I'm only getting a certain credit from like the last year. I don't even know why. But we're at 3,000 out of 4,000 watch hours. So like I know we can knock this out before the season starts. I just need the crew to like help. Just leave videos up like in the background, whatever you could do. On what channel? The Fantasy Football Hustler channel, on the main channel. I've went and changed everything. I went and changed everything like on the videos, on all that, on all the descriptions. So we're not, promoting any kind of 420 or like anything, like that. So hopefully. So I'll rewind this one while I'm working. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Everything helps. Everything helps for sure. Woo. Oh yeah, Bakes, and hopefully you talk to Peacock about the logo. It's going to be cool. We'll get you added to the I pulled it up here a little bit earlier, the Battle of the Brands. This is going to be a dope league that everybody's going to want to pay attention to. Check some outcomes. It's going to be super, super fun. This one's going to be a fun league. All right, one more. We're going to finish this bowl and finish this dab, and then we're getting out of here. All right. And let's see. Before I hit this dab, some leagues that we're filling. Oh, shit. Nice. You just finished the design. It looks sick. Tight. Send it to me if you can. I'll throw it up here on the screen. It'll be the first teaser. And let me see some leagues that we got filling. And shout out to Peacock when he gets down. Hell yeah. So let's see. So we got $30 Superflex Dynasty offense only. That's filling. We got a 55 Superflex offense only WWF league. Okay, WWF themed, where I'm going to be doing the Battle Royal to decide the draft order. And then we got a Superflex IDP version of that for 55 as well. We got a Superflex IDP auction league for $55. I guess I'm missing the mark on that. We got the Debo Snatcher Chain Leagues. We got 3 spots left in the Superflex IDP version of that. The Superflex offense only already filled. Let's see. What else? We got a $55 Superflex offense only. That one's just one that's going to be happening on the Sleeper. 55! And then we might be starting up a single QB redraft as well for 33. But yeah, we got a lot of leagues that have spots in. Oh yeah, we got the Vampire Leagues as well. There's a couple spots left in the $55 Vampire League. 55! And then we got a couple spots left in the $33 Vampire League. One, the 55 is the Blade Vampire one league, and then the $33 one is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer League. So there we go. Both going to be real fun leagues. Oh, we got spots in the 3 QB league. How did I forget about that? The 3 QB league is one of the most fun with you start 2 quarterbacks plus a super flex. It's insane. We got a couple spots left in the QB fuckery. That's the 3 QB with IDP. There's 3 spots left in that. And then we got 2 spots left in the 3 QB offense only. Both $55 buy-ins. 55! Peace out, Johnny. Marco said no clue how the Vampire Leagues work. So the Vampire, they do not draft. Okay. They do not draft. They dang it, you know what? I have to convert this. I don't think it'll let me add this because it's an iPhone thing, but we'll show that in the future. So the Vampire Leagues. The Vampire does not draft. The Vampire, their whole team is made up of free agents. And then everybody else drafts, obviously. So it's like a 9-team draft. It's a 10-team league total. And then the Vampire is the only one that has unlimited moves, and they have first priority on the waiver. So Vampires can pick up players whenever. Everybody else, you can't pick up a player until Wednesday, and you only get to pick up one player, and that's it. One player, and that's it. And that's for the week. And if the Vampire wins and beats anybody, they get to steal a player from your team. So it's pretty much like a forced 1-for-1 trade, anybody for anybody on either team. So very, very interesting. Very, very fun. And yeah, highly recommend. And once we get we either are or we're not going to get remonetized on YouTube, and that's not going to affect whether we're doing a raffle or not for the start of the season. It's just really when we're doing it, because I am trying to hold out to see if we can get remonetized on YouTube, because the subscriptions and everything like that, people would get entries for that again. So that's what we're trying to figure out. We're so close. We're 3/4 of the way there. So, you know, any push that people could do to help get us over the hump is greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. We'll see you guys a little bit later for the draft that's going down today. And Jamie said we have something similar, but we call it a zombie league. Nice. I know there's different versions. of this. All right. We'll see you guys a little bit later tonight. Peace out.
Defense on me. I don't want them to gain another yard. You blitz all night. If they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm going to take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans. Here comes the